Hello, everyone on the internet, and thanks for tuning in.
And welcome to another episode with me, Master Bushido, and my Toku Bros on the other side. It's Flayvaman!
Dobert Scathai!
Yeah, whatever. Putting that to one side of failage. Anyway, what? Like, I was thinking a couple of weeks ago, you did that one you mentioned with, what's it? Dragon Zero, and I was wondering what the fuck were you on about back then, and then I just realized you were trying to do Honno Kakse!
No.
Oh. Then what? The Wild Instinct
I,
release?
no, all the ones that I've been doing, Geoja related, have been like that, that Screamy guy. They've all been the Screamy guy, apart from that one just now.
Okay.
Jesus, man.
No, well,
Right.
honestly, if you did Honno Kakse, then, you know... Whoops. Anyway, we are back for another fortnightly edition of Toku Talk!
Yay.
You really just, like, just plummet that enthusiasm. But anyway, for those that don't know, yes, it's our Toku Talk, which we do talk about tokusatsu from past, present, and future of whatever the fuck we watch. Anywho, so
That's old Toku we're currently watching, Toku that's currently on air, and stuff we're reading in the news that's going to be happening in Toku Hen's future.
Yep, and that mentioned, I will be also mentioning stuff that is in Toku-related news to come. So, to kickstart us off, go thy Flayvaman.
Right, so have you actually watched Ghost?
No. As in 22, no, because, hey, shut it.
Right.
I tried to download it and it took
we've all got lives,
anyway.
We've all got lives. I've had a very busy last 7 days, but I did manage to I have just about caught up with current Toku. So I'm going to literally shoot off with Ghost 22.
Go for it.
It's basic, well, alright, because I'm trying to remember what the hell happened in Ghost 21.
21, basically, Takeru just literally went into the thingy world, Gamma world, and then that's where it pretty much ended, to try and rescue...
Do you remember anything else that happened in the episode? Because I'm actually blank, because my mind just...
See, this is the thing, the whole purpose of that episode was about, trying to, simplify the idea of something. Because that's when Takeru goes into the Newtonite.
Oh, that's it. See, that science starts
not Newton,
shit,
Edison.
Yeah. No, I remember now, because they were like mucking about trying to get him into the Gamma world, and then they got him into the Gamma world.
Yeah,
but I am
keeping that paint Gamma happy.
So that's it. The thing is, like, Ghost 22, a lot actually does happen in this episode. I mean, you did say that if you didn't get around to Ghost 22 that I could put spoilers in and fine. I'm not, because it's such a pivotal episode. A lot happens. You learn about the history of the Ganma. Literally, it's actually a pretty dark episode. Again, without spoiling it, you literally see like the shock and fear in Takeru's eyes during this episode. You do see, I don't know if you've seen it in the spoilers and previews, but Adele-sama does actually get his own like rider form, whatever.
No, I haven't heard that. What is it called?
I think that this is it. When he henshins, it goes Ultima. So I don't know if that's its name.
That's an interesting name, because we haven't had an Ultima yet.
I don't know if that's the name, but that's the sound effect. I mean, I could have actually done that for the intro, but never mind. So again, he just goes Ultima, and then he drops his icon, and then an interesting character returns, and I think that's really setting up episode 23.
Is that the same one that we talked about in 21?
No. And that's the thing as well. The one we talked about, that was episode 20 you're talking about. It does pretty much. It's not 100%, but it does kind of establish that they are two different characters. I mean, again, it's not 100%, so they could technically still be the same character, but it kind of, subtly implies that it should most likely be two different characters. Yeah, they could be twins or brothers or clones. No, but actually, I say that, but it actually, I mean, if you remember the end of 21, the revelation of Makoto, that it really plays on that. So I reckon, now that I'm thinking about it here and now, because I've only literally just
don't strain yourself.
It's basically the concept they're doing behind Makoto, Kanon-chan, and whoever else. I reckon there's a good possibility that that's the sort of thing that's going on with that character that we're talking about, that you saw at the end of episode 21.
Fair enough.
Anything else? I mean, that painting Ganma was knocking about still. I'm not entirely sure of his purpose. But,
No, I mean, he's just I'm sorry, but he's just a test subject for the science girl.
That's the thing, though, because, like, at the beginning of 22, I was just like, Yeah. But then I do think they've at least thrown in some darkness in there. I mean, again, we're going to be talking about the next Kamen Rider. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the next superhero project film later. But because I'm thinking, when you think of the dark origins of Kamen Rider, lately they just, especially Drive, they're not really playing on the darkness. Episode 22 is actually pretty dark, and you learn a lot, you sort of see a lot go on. And there's a few fight scenes, and, a lot happens plot-wise, in terms of Alan and Adele's father. And, I kind of think, and then, again, just to spoil it a little bit, you do see Alan Summer come on side. So it's quite interesting compared to how previous, secondary riders sort of switched sides from bad to good. But I think the way they've done it with Alan's actually really interesting. Okay, so, done with 22. I mean, future-wise, we do get, the previews do show Grateful Damashi being in episode 23. You see some really funky looking icons, which is okay. I think, I think it's literally going to be some massive progression from episode 22, because again, it's a real, they've really gone out on the story for episode 22.
Well, it only took, halfway through the fucking series to actually start getting to a pivotal moment. And on top of that,
there's a lot.
Hang on one second. Hang on a minute. And then when they get to Grateful, this is where I've had this discussion with you when they were talking about the token boost icon as well. In that, are they going to reset the fucking timer again?
I don't think so. The ironic thing is, I don't, because where they've reset the timer, I don't, it just seems a little irrelevant. But there were some key scenes where you saw Alan and Adele's father, and he's in this temple, and I think that the illuminary icons have something to do with the Grand Emperor of the Ganma world. It's again, there's a lot going on in episode 22.
Fair enough.
So, I suggest you watch it, and you can give us your feedback in the next Toku Talk.
Fair
enough. Again, I mean, if I knew how good this was before I spoke to you this morning, my morning, I would have insisted, no, you're watching this before we record, but obviously you haven't, so we can roll on if you like.
Yeah.
So I will roll on.
I was going to say, on the subject of riders, unless if we're going to save the other...
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll talk a bit more
later.
Right, so I'm going to quickly cover Bimmer, because again, I've literally only watched one episode in the last 14 days. I've been so busy. So, Bimmer, Satra Garuda, even though I watched one episode, and that was a few hours ago, I'm now on episode 15. Basically, there's a lot, even in this episode as well, there's a lot going on, simply because, I don't know, on one hand, it was like an episode where they randomly went on holiday, so that was proper fan service. But you know, I mean, if you remember me talking about Bima previously, in the way that the Rasputin and the Budo Kingdom go after like different industries, it's quite weird because, and yes, they do pronounce it Azazel. They do, I was listening for that just for you. So Azazel. So where he's like, where he was made the commander in the previous episode, it's basically, you know, you've still got Iron Mask sort of bouncing around, and he's really resentful. Oh, I'm not taking orders from you. But
What,
he's
me?
like, alright. No, that's what Iron Mask says to Azazel. But
Azazel!
Azazel, they pronounce it Azazel.
I don't care.
Right. And I did listen. Anyway, so what he does is he starts going after like the military science industry, and this is where it gets interesting. Because, it just so happens that the girl that Ray was like chirpsing, like sort of chatting up and stuff, that she ends up she happens to be on holiday in the same place that they are, so it's a bit sort of Toku cliche or even PR cliche as it goes. So she just happened to be there because her father's working on some military science project, and so she takes him along to see their like little thing, and they're like, oh, well done. But it actually starts off that one of those scientists, but the episode actually starts off that one of the scientists that work with that girl's father actually betrays them and sells information to Azazel. So like the episode just begins with this mad scientist going crazy about gold, and then this random megalodon monster, as they call it, just appears out of nowhere and eats him. It's like, well, that was worth it. And then and then it's sort of like, and then Ray fights with Iron Mask. So Azazel's like, oh, you've got to fight Bima now. It's like, oh, all right then. And then they fight, and I'll be honest again, the wire works. They do the wire work. I don't normally like wire works. I talked to Bueno about how I don't like wire works. Jimmy Bueno, he's the guy behind Gun Caliber,
right.
And I see this, and and actually the wire works do. They actually make sense here.
So, in short, this is a million times better than Ghost style wireworks.
But this is it. Ghost doesn't really have wireworks. I mean, it has a lot of CGI.
Come on, let's admit it. The first 5 episodes of Ghost.
They're all flying around anyway. But this is it. Something like Ghost, even the amount of wireworks, I just sort of ignore it because they're all flying around anyway. But in Bima, it actually makes more sense. And again, story-wise, and then you sort of see at the end of the episode, like Ray's hot adopted sister, who was, coincidentally from JKT48, which is the Indonesian version of AKB48. She's the actress that plays Ray's sister. Yeah, she gets captured, and and again, I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous Toku Talks, but it's like even though even though Ray's her adopted brother, she's like massively crushing on him, and you sort of like all her ickle girly friends are like, oh, you should tell him, and then it's like, and then she manages to ask him, she kind of asks him round to their sort of chalet apartment thing, and then when he goes to knock, his little glowy stone thing goes off, and then he has to go fight, and then she's all like boo hoo hoo, and then she sort of spots him with that girl called, I think her name's Belinda or something, like the motorbike girl or whatever. And then, like, that girl goes back to her apartment, and then she gets captured by the Megalodon monster. And then Iron Mask captures, her name's Rena, the adopted sister. And again, it's a bit, I'll be honest, it is a little bit soap opera-ish, but I actually, don't mind it. How much have I spoken about just one episode? I swear I speak more. Anyway, I swear I speak less when I'm talking about several episodes. I think we should.
Because you sound engrossed on it.
No, actually, this is it. I do like Bima. I wish this is it. Technically, I should have been doing the Bima Series 1 review today, but again, I've literally watched one episode today out of the last 14 days. Yeah, so no, I plan to do a Bima Series 1 review the next time we do Toku Talk. So, like, moving on. So we will move on. Kamen Rider Cougar. Now,
Right,
again,
I'm
sort of
gonna.
where
No,
we both had
you're a
have
bit
like,
shut. I'll leave this
right,
on, because
go for it.
you're. Yeah, thank you. Because you're ahead of me by about maybe 4 or 5 episodes, give or take.
On
And
one hand, I'm ahead of you, but on the other hand, I've not watched any for the last 7 days.
yeah,
I've been
whatever.
so
And
busy.
no loss. But my point is,
Well, it is
I
because I can't
shut
remember
it.
anything.
My point here, anyway.
Alright, go.
I am at first when I first watched, or when I started watching Kuga, I felt like it's one of those that it's very boring, and I needed something to do and have it as a background kind of a series, if that makes sense. However,
Remember you saying, yeah?
yeah, like as an example, I'd be playing on a video game and having Kuga in the background as a distraction. Saying that, there are some good moments in it. The story is developing gingerly. It is a broad story. I'm not going to deny it. It feels like it's slowly talking about the history of Cougar over the actual span of the year.
Hmm.
So it's one of those you have to actually tolerate.
It
But
is like, I mean, as well, even story wise, where you saw, like, I think they fight, like, the major Grongi characters. And then they kind of establish in their story, there's quite a few plot holes in Cougar, to be fair. But one of them was cut. But one thing that I think they do okay is how like from one episode to another, there'll then be like a 3 month gap. They'll say, "Oh, it's been 3 months since we've seen a Grongi." They do that in Sentai more, really. But
one thing though I will say is I can't remember the last time I've seen a series where predominant, at least for the first, what am I, 20, but 18, 17, 18 episodes, the enemies do not speak anything but just gibberish. And by that,
that's it.
hang on one second, no, no,
They do start talking Japanese, and
yeah,
they call it linto.
yes.
That's,
Basic, no, no, here's the
that
thing.
took me a while to get my head
No, no,
around.
no.
To be honest.
Basically, linto is their way of calling humans, and grongi is them.
Yeah, I got that from the hot computer girl.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, so in short, I am interested as to how it is gingerly developing. I think I've mentioned this back in the previous Toku Talk, but in short, I've seen all three of Cougar's forms so far, that being... What?
well, if you're only counting blue, green, purple, but obviously you're not counting red
Red's
or
default.
white
No,
and
white's...
white.
No. White technically doesn't count because that's just underform.
Underform.
Yeah,
Alright.
because red's the default, and then you got dragon being the blue, Pegasus being the green, and then you've
You
got...
go over this in every Toku talk.
Because I actually
You
like
like making that list, don't you?
Because I can.
Have you seen the bike armor?
Yes.
Right. What did you think of that? It's
I
a bit weird how they're doing the
see.
story, in my opinion.
That's the thing. Okay, two things about the bike armor. One, I think that bike armor is how Kiba should have done their Baron booster like that. Anyway, two, I actually like that bike armor. I think it's not too much, it's not too little. It actually works, and especially the horns work nicely as a batmarang, effectively. Oh, sorry, a battering ram, if you want to call it that, whatever. What's more, I really found it interesting when that bike armor, when it just exceeded what it did, it just completely disassembled itself, and I was like, wait, what? What the fuck? So it actually got me interested.
I like how it's like it feels unorganized because especially in recent Neo Heisei Toku, everything's organized. But I like how that Bicam is just not organised.
Mm.
It's just
I mean,
I don't know what the hell's going on with
but
it.
it leaves you with that sense of interest as to what the fuck happened, what is going on. Why did it do that? I thought it would just stay on as an upgrade. No, it literally not only did it just disassemble, it just
It
completely turned
crumbles.
it just
It's anarchy.
it just completely turned back itself into a relic. So I'm
Yeah.
like, but at least
Right.
it keeps the viewers intrigued. I like it, anyways.
Have you? This might technically be spoiling for you, but I'm thinking you must have seen it. The little story arc where Cougar dies.
Yes.
Right. What did you think of that?
Spoiler alert, guys.
He dies.
Once. Anyway, oh, green tea today.
Yeah.
Anyway, I actually found it interesting that I was like, wait, what? He actually died? And then you actually see the whole EKG thing and the whole flatlining process and everything. And then the whole thing that the belt is trying to keep him and preserve him to bring him back alive.
Do you think it's
wait,
cliche?
one second. So the purpose was, according to the science girl thing, saying that you should not interfere with him
Yeah.
because the belt is trying to preserve, protect, and resuscitate the body. And I found that a
Yeah.
very interesting concept.
I don't know about. I mean, bearing in mind, obviously, this is the revival of Kamen Rider, but even still, isn't that a bit cliche? Like, I'm sure, like other places have done it prior to the year 2000.
The way that you say, oh, revive, okay, let's just kill him once and revive him again, yeah, sure. Now that you mention it, is very, like, what do you call it, shoehorn cliche, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But
Any other points you want to make on Cougar?
my curiosity is there's one form that I'm still interested as to how they're going to incorporate.
What's that?
I'm not going to say.
Uh,
But
okay.
what I will say is, after his revival, he just comes back looking all, hey, I'm back, look, no damage.
Yeah,
I
but
was like, what
that's a
the
bit cliche as well because you kind of get that a lot in Toku. Like they've just recovered and
See,
they're bouncing around.
This is where I think I'm going to be expecting something within the next, I don't know, 10 or so episodes.
Again, I've got to. It's been a week since I've watched Cougar, so I'm gonna have to remind myself of everything lately. Oh well.
Well,
Moving on. Well, just in general, because again, because I think Cougars. I'll be honest. Just to sort of wrap up Cougar, I'm finding it mediocre. So I'm not thinking it's bad, and it's like I'm still gonna like, even though I've only just passed halfway. I'm just like, alright, now I can see sort of like why Hibiki is as it is. But it's, because of that, it's like Cougar did kind of, there is a bit, again, it's far from perfect. It's got a lot of plot holes, loopholes, some shit don't make
it
sense.
has points to keep you interested,
It's,
though.
I mean, that's it. It's kind of mediocre, but I'll still say, I mean, again, Neo Heisei just seems to be so oversaturated with like candy pop shit. But I would say the second half of Heisei Phase 1 still kind of my favourite Kamen Rider era. Yeah, I'm talking like Blade to Kibar. And like, because even when you look, I think I'm sort of detracting from Cougar anyway. But even when I'm talking about Ghost, it's sort of like, some places are just really oversweetened. But at least, you do, like with Cougar, so coming back to Cougar, you do get a sense of that darkness that the Showa era was very well known for. But it just seems much watered down. Because again, when I start watching Agito, it's going to be interesting because Ryuki is very, again, so I said Blade to Kiba, really, but, Ryuki's really, like, early Heisei Phase 1. So, going from Kuga to Ryuki in the space of 2 years, it's going to be interesting to see how Agito's that bridge sort of is.
Agreed.
Alright, so moving on, Dino Supercharge. Don't worry, well, I don't know, I spent how long reciting Bima episode 14. But I will say that, with Dino Supercharge, with Dino Supercharge, again, because the last time we did Toku Talk, I did talk about how not Nick. Shit, what's the Red Ranger's name? Fuck, because Nick's from Mystic Force. What's his name? Tyler. His name's Tyler. Right, because episode 5 was because I talked about 3, 4, 5 last time, and you had like the revival of, well, you see the re-emergence of Tyler's dad. And I was thinking I'd be seeing episode 6 and 7 this morning, but there was only an episode 6. So I only watched one episode. So there's only been one episode in the last 2 weeks, as far as I can see. You dickhead. Right, so there's been one episode in the last 2 weeks, anyway. So just as well I've been busy. But episode 6, it's really, I don't know. It's actually, considering I've been really liking it up to episode 5. Episode 6, in my opinion, even with some of the redeeming features, which I'll go into in a moment. Even with the redeeming features, it's still a very poor episode. I mean, because I started off like the first, and this is it. This is where I speak too soon. It's like I was watching the first couple of minutes. I was thinking, like they sort of showed a few like fight scenes quite early on. I'm like, you know what? I think it is getting a little more difficult to tell the difference between PR and Sentai footage. And then they kind of made me eat my own words by just pasting a lot of Super Sentai footage. I'm just like, oh, this is yuck. So, like, even when it comes to stock footage-wise, for some odd reason, they just crammed a load of Sentai footage into this episode. And just had some really, and literally the actors are just dubbing over it. Like, dubbing over stupid lines and one-liners, which is what PR's known for, to be fair. But I'm just like, oh, this is really bad. And then, the only redeeming feature is basically, because again, episode 5, you've got Tyler's dad coming back into the mist. And then you kind of see this oversaturation of Tyler bonding with his dad, which I thought was corny as shit. But then this is spoiler alert, like right at the end of the episode, he's like, alright, I've now got to go find the silver energem, because Keeper, who's like the ET thing, Keeper's like, oh, I think you're, what's the word, anthropologist or archaeology or whatever. Your skills can be put to better use. So right at the end of the episode, it's kind of like, Tyler's like, oh, but Dad, we've only just reunited. And, because like through the episode, and, amongst all that, Sentai footage crammage, you see them bonding, but he's like, look, Tyler, I've seen how you are. I'm so sorry, I don't see you as the 8-year-old anymore. You're more than capable of looking after yourself, and I'm sure we'll be reunited one day. And the feels about that, because again, I was just like really not liking it because it just seemed corny as hell, and it was like he was overcompensating for the fact that he'd reunited with his dad, and the fact that he's then having his father ripped apart. I think it's almost like PR's trying to attempt to associate with kids watching it that might be from broken homes. So obviously I can't relate to that. But even watching that, I was like, oh my god, the feels. I felt that, and you just see, it's corny as hell because like they make this joke like, and I'll tell you about the story in a moment. But it's kind of like, oh, because he took a selfie while he was in a volcano. And it's like, oh well, you know what, this might not be the centre of the earth, but you are my father. And then he takes a selfie with his father at the end, and that's that's really it's really emotional there.
I was going to say, when you were speaking of Keeper and the way that you spoke of Keeper. It sounded like you were trying to be Alpha 5.
No, the Alpha 5 of this series is actually the Purple Ranger. You know, what's her name? Miss Morgan. She's the Alpha 5. Keeper's more like the Zordon. Yes. Or if you've seen Ninja Storm, he's the hamster, basically. You know.
Anyway.
But I will say, like, you know, so to actually cover the story, what actually happens Ranger-wise and power-wise. Basically, it's the episodes from Super Sentai where you've got, again, Endolf, whatever he's called, where he manages to control Doggold by putting those green rings on his horns. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So basically, it's the PI adaptation of that story, only they managed to annihilate it in one episode, whereas in Sentai it went on for a few episodes because he was controlling Doggold.
Yeah.
So you basically got, again, and his name's Singe, actually. Yeah, I forgot that last time. So Endolf in PI is called Singe. And, you know, he's got these rings, and he doesn't just put it on Fury's horns, Fury being Doggold. He doesn't just put it on his horns, he puts it on the Rangers' Energems so they can't morph.
I don't know if that happened.
I'm trying to remember myself.
Because the only closest I remember, if I remember correctly, is Kyoryuger's. They had some black binding tape restraining them from using their guns to henshin.
It wasn't that one. I remember that. I'm not sure if they did that in Series 1. Like regular Dino Charge. But no, that's not
this one.
So, LOLs. Right, but coming back to this, again, so it's that story arc. But again, the thing is, I don't know why PR did this, and again, they just cram a lot of footage. Basically, they then, because where they established the Carnival mode in either episode 4 or 5, I think it was 5 to be fair. In here, they then establish, right, so we know in Kyoryuger that Carnival mode, he can take the armaments of Kyoryujin and, use them as a ranger.
Well, basically...
So what they do in Dino Supercharge in this episode is they just have him go through every single one.
In one episode?
No, not one episode. In about 5 minutes, you just see him slacking through it.
Hang on a minute.
Fighting Endolf, or again, he's Singe.
1 second, but to be fair though, in Kyoryuger though, in that... No, I've got to remember now.
Because at least in Kyoryuger they do like one combination a week.
No.
They just do about 5 or 6 in like less than a few minutes.
No. What? Because there was one fight sequence that they actually did when Kyoryu Red in Carnival mode did literally just change after change after change.
That was after he'd established the armaments several episodes later. This was establishing the weapons, establishing the armaments, and I'm just like, they've totally wasted footage.
No, but hang on a minute. Wait. But they must have done the default form, Kung Fu form.
They did them all.
Did
them all.
But no, I meant as in Kyoryujin forms. That's why they did, what do you call it? Because it's got to be at least midway through, but Kyoryu Red, in one fight sequence, he just... So you're telling me that in this one...
I think I know what you're talking about, but again, that's after he's established all of them.
Each one once.
Yeah.
But so you're saying they haven't.
Because the way they've done it story-wise is... Right, so the way they do the story-wise, and again, I will actually commend these guys, I'll commend the PR storyline for actually including more Kyoryu Grey and Kyoryu Cyan, right? But then again, they've sent Kyoryu Cyan away again now. So this episode, you have Kyoryu Grey, who's Prince Philip, and then you have Kyoryu Cyan, who's Tyler's father.
You're kidding me.
So they are the two, they are the two newest Rangers. So what Miss Morgan was doing... So what Miss Morgan was doing was she No, she took their Dino Energems to adjust them so it could be used in the Carnival mode. I'm not even sure what it's called in PR. Anyway, so she takes their Energems to adjust them. So the other Rangers have their Energems. They fight some, I don't know, he has like Yellow Dreadlocks Monster of the Week. And then
Oh, the
Endolf comes out.
spider.
I think so. It looked a bit reggae-ish. Anyway,
Yeah,
and
the spider.
then Singe comes down, and then he puts the rings on
Yeah.
Fury Doggold's head.
Wasn't
And then he
hang on,
puts,
I remember that because that was a, now I'm gonna intrude because that was like a 2-3 part story arc on its own. Hang on, no, let me just let me just
very minor role.
one sec. Let me just compare it though, because that was like a 2-3 episode arc on its own with, as you'd say, Endolf and everything. Because Endolf came down with 2 of his lieutenants, one of which being a spider and the other one being some dark ninja-esque thing.
The Dark Ninja-esque thing was in episode 5.
But that's what I mean. And with the spider, if I remember correctly...
How the hell do you remember this? This was, because even me watching it, I was having trouble remembering it. You seem to remember it really well.
Well, one, Kyoryuger was a good series for me anyway. I don't care for you, so I don't just shut anyway. Shut it.
Alright.
Yeah. Anyway, and then you had now I've got to remember with the fight sequence. I think there was some unique finish to it. If it was
That's it. Again, in this particular episode, he just goes through every single
no. See, that's the thing though, because against Endolf, I think, don't quote me, but I think that's when he just unleashes everything after accumulating.
Oh well, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, but story-wise, they kind of did it where Miss Morgan had just finished adapting the grey and cyan or graphite and aqua Energems. And she's like, "Oh, can you test them out, Tyler?" So he just tests them out all over Singe. And then, sort of again, Sentai stock footage-wise, I'm right. Seeing as you've got a really good memory of Kyoryuger,
Please don't.
right now the thing about both Sentai and PR over the years, and this really winds me up sometimes, is when like a ranger will lend their mecha to one of the other rangers.
Example.
So say Lion Hao. So like take Ninja just gone. You'll get the Red Ranger in Lion Hao.
Yeah.
But then he'll still have to give his Shinobi Maru to the others.
Yeah.
So that's the typical example, and you've got millions of examples across both series.
Yeah.
But specifically in this episode, and again, I'm not entirely sure whether this is a plot hole in both Kyoryuger and PR or just PR.
Yeah.
But you see like Red Ranger giving his Tyrannosaurus Rex or Gabutira in Kyoryuger. He gives his Tyrannosaurus Rex to the other Rangers to make the Megazord. But then he's still able to get the tiny Gabutira to do Carnival mode.
He can't.
Because again, in Kyoryuger, that big Gabutira becomes a little mini Gabutira.
No. So Gabutira, when it goes into overdrive, it becomes mini Tira, and becomes Carnival's gun.
Right, yeah, that's it. But again, in this particular episode, so he's already given Gabutira to the other Rangers to be in the Megazord.
See, the logic on that doesn't make sense.
And then he has the mini Tira. He's doing Carnival mode while
how
fighting. That's a plot hole in my opinion, unless that was done in Kyoryuger as well, but I don't think so. Again, they literally just crammed a lot of Sentai footage in without thinking about it, in my opinion.
The only time can you have two close, what do you call it, T-Rex related things in that one episode is when you have Gabutira and Spino Dio. Oh, sorry, Spinodio. But you get what I mean, right?
I mean, that's it. I have heard rumours that they are going to bring Death Ryuja as a regular ranger in some way, shape, or form, but I guess that's to come. I mean, again, I'm still, I am really hoping that it's not because I know in Kyoryuja, Torin was obviously, Kyoryu Silver.
Yeah.
I mean, we know
You're
that
gonna
Torin,
say Mad Torin.
I've said a million times over the various topic talks that we know Torin and Mad Torin's going to be in Dino Super.
No, I meant you make it
But
sound
I
like Mad
really
Torin's gonna be Death Ryuja.
I really hope that Torin isn't going to be the Silver Ranger in this. Although I reckon he probably will be, just to piss me off.
Wait.
Because I don't know how. Right.
Wait, hang on. So in Dino Supercharge, you don't want Torin to be the Silver Ranger. Why?
Because what they established, and I think they established this in episode 5 as well. But what they established stronger in episode 6 is how having a Dino Gem, you don't age. And they make this joke that even though that's Tyler's father, he looks like his brother because he's had the Dino Gem for 10 years. He hasn't aged. The Knight of Xandar had it for something like 400 years or 800 years. He hasn't aged. Koda, who's the Blue Ranger, the guy who appeared in Ninja, he's had it for 100,000 years and hasn't aged. Yeah, him. So technically that's Koda you've got there, not whatever it was called in Kyoryuja. Yeah, that's Koda right there. You're so... yeah, alright. Anyway, so I think that's me done again, just talking madly about one episode. Let's move on, and I know you are dying to talk about a certain trailer you've seen.
Right, so, thank you for passing this on to me. So when was it? This morning, actually, believe it or not. I was on J Fusion, and before the trailer, I saw an imagery of the deluxe Amazon belt.
See, I knew nothing about this.
See, hang on a minute. And I was like, okay, so are they re-releasing the old Amazon belts? Because this looks like a pure black belt with the Amazon style on the front, but normally I'm familiar with the Amazon belt being more either silver or white, but this was black. Anyway, my point is okay, so I was like interested, so I scroll down, and then I find there's a trailer. Okay, so it's only like a 30-40 second announcement trailer to...
Ooh, I don't know how long I think it was about a minute, but oh my god, they packed a lot.
This is the thing. This is nothing like Ichigo's revival. Yeah, because Ichigo was basically not only a revival but also a smash with
a power up. They've done a power up.
Well, not just a power up for Ichigo. Ichigo pretty much it's a smushverse with Ghost.
Oh, and then they're bringing it's Ghost and Ichigo.
Yeah,
together.
that thing. Anyway, with this, not only do you have one Amazon, you have two. Hence, Amazons. So I'm like...
I'm not going to lie, because again, I don't know how much, because that was my first question too, if you'd actually seen the series.
No.
All I know about Amazon is what's occurred in the Tyson films.
Yeah.
So, so I'm aware of Amazon. I know he's like Amazonian.
Like Wonder Woman.
Well, at least the Showa Amazonian.
Like Wonder Woman.
But what is it with you and Marvel? And it's so like watching the trailer. This is it. I think they're doing what Kamen Rider the first and the next was.
Yes.
But at least that makes more sense.
PG rated, it feels like.
Because I have said, I don't know why they keep bringing Takeshi Hongo back. He's an old man. Let him sort of, before he revived Ichigo, he was R0 in Rescue Fire. Leave the man alone. But obviously he's there. You know, like if you watch the trailers at the end of Ghost, you see him like hobbling around with Ghost helping him out. It's like, dude, leave the man alone. He's old and he doesn't need a power up. That's just stupid.
See, this is the
They
thing.
should.
This
In
is
the
the thing.
Tyson,
If we're
really
hang on a
should
minute.
use-
If we're
Yeah,
talking
go.
about oldies, right? Look at Goranger. What's it? Aka Ranger. He's made his cameo appearance,
Once Go Kaija.
but he still looks good. My point is,
but he was a floating ghost head. That's why.
no, not just that. He actually appeared himself as.
Yeah, he is.
My
but-
point is
Oh,
he did not need a fucking suit, an upgraded suit for it.
That's because because they use they use a suit actor like a fair bit for Aka Ranger, but then they're not really because all this superhero project shit.
Hang on.
Seems to be about
Okay. I think we're deterring from the Amazons. My point is with the Amazons, though, this is where I'm gonna really take a moment in saying this. I am interested in that because I'm used to seeing Amazon having predominant green with a fair bit of red with red as well, whereas this is literally those two colours split. So you have red with the
I see what you mean.
Yeah, with the red. Sorry.
I don't even think it looks like Amazon at all.
Let me say no. Wait, give me a second. You've got the traditional Amazon helmet on the red side. Let me finish. And then you got something that looks more like a piranha, but in a good way, on the green. I actually don't mind the outfits. I actually really like the outfits, but I am disagreeing with you on everything. It's basically, I can see the resemblance with Amazon. Yeah.
But unless I was making that direct association, I wouldn't have thought Amazon.
Right. And now this is I'm gonna. Normally, I don't talk about this as well, but because we're on Amazons, I just want to tie this in as well. So as I was on my way home this evening, I saw a post on one of the Tokusatsu fan service, whatever the hell you want to call it, that I follow on YouTube
I saw a couple
Facebook.
of actresses in the trailer.
Sorry, on Facebook. Anyway, my point is it was about it showed 4 images. And basically saying, pick your favorite. So you had...
They do that.
Yeah. But it is actually an interesting one. Saying Takeshi Hongo's latest Ichigo. You had Sango from Kamen Rider...
I don't think Sango had a human form.
No, I meant as...
Yeah, the suit.
The suits. These are the suits. So the latest Ichigo, Sango from... Kamen Rider Grand Prix.
From the Tyson series.
Yeah, that one. You've got the next trio, so the Ichigo Nigo V3 from the next, and you had the Amazons. And about 20-30 out of 20-30 comments, 2/3 of those were either the next or Amazons, and maybe 1 or 2 were Ichigo and...
who likes Ichigo's new form?
One comment...
where we're gonna go on to Duodra in a bit, it's like, what is it about this pumped up shit that people keep doing?
Well commented, because it's a very interesting thing that someone said, Takeshi Hongo looks like Ichigo on steroids.
That's the whole point, he's meant to be. Well, or super duper, whatever. Anyway, so...
on that lovely night...
Yeah, right, no, I will just quickly mention that I know for the last several Toku Talks I keep saying, I'm going to watch the Kamen Rider Drive film. Well, I've been busy again. So I will, it's not just the Drive, it's not just Surprise Drive, but they've released a couple of chase specials on TVN.
Yeah.
So I will try to get those watched for next time. So let's chat about Duodra. episode 4 to begin with.
Alright.
Um,
Ladies first.
this is like a real good character development episode where it's Blue Ranger, Yellow Ranger. You've got, I'll be honest, I mean, I've already gone on record saying that Joe Tiger's hot, and I'm not really too hot on Joe Sharp, but I think a strong character was displayed during this episode. And like you've got this chivalry coming from Joe Lyon, and it was actually a fairly okay episode. It was character development.
See, this is the thing. Even if it may have been done for kids, I think that the way that they brought that, as you say, chivalry, that kind of style,
it's very subtle, this series.
Agreed.
So I like how it's not as in your face as Kyoryuger was, ironically.
Yeah.
And like Ninja again, it was very hit and miss for me personally, but at least Zyuohger, it's not. I mean, the thing is Zyuohger. The problem is Zyuohger's not really coming out and grabbing me, but I'm still like okay with.
No. See, that's where I'm gonna not disagree, but add to that and saying that I couldn't give a shit about the suits. I couldn't give a shit about the mechs. I am actually interested in the rest. I actually like the characters. I actually like the story. I actually like the villains, for one thing. Anyway, I'm actually intrigued. Like, it is interesting. And each week.
I like Yamato's uncle. He's like in episode 4. You see him going around like I think it's a ram or a sheep.
A sheep.
Oh my goodness, I was burst out. I don't know, at least they've got the humour on point with him.
What, with Mario?
Else, a bit hit and miss. I mean, everywhere else they have humour, it's a bit hit and miss, but with the uncle, it is spot on.
You know his name's Mario, just for your benefit.
I was thinking, I think I remember hearing that name mentioned.
He is the comic relief, as you call it.
I mean, he's comic relief, but he is something onto his own.
Agreed.
Just totally. I mean, coming to episode 5 now, I will, sort of linking one part to the other. Like, they do comedy a lot in this episode as well. Like, the whole trying to get Yamato to speak to Larry, of all names, Larry. You see, they try to get Larry to like Yamato, and it's just, come on, you're doing the cliche humour here. And even he cottons on quite quickly. He's like, oh, if you're going to keep doing this, you can all go away.
Yeah.
So, so they kind of address the cliche quite quickly, actually. But still, again, I can appreciate the humour, but it's not my style of appreciating humour.
My part, I got a bit... It's not that I got pissed off with, but it's the part where he was a Hispanic.
No, you see, he's dressed like a Rasta, and then he's saying gracias. It's like, what is he?
Hence why I thought,
I don't know
what a Jamaican,
I mean, to be fair,
a Hispanic Jamaican thing. Anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Well, no, because this is it. Because I know, like, the colours they use are similar to, like, the Samba colours. So I think maybe it was supposed to be a play on that.
What, you think a play on... now that you mentioned Samba, what, a Kyoryuger nod?
No, not necessarily Kyoryuger nod. I'm not necessarily saying it's a Kyoryuger nod, but yeah, I'm just thinking because there's those Sega characters. They use like those colours a lot as well. I forget what it's called. I play Sega All Stars, so I'm familiar with certain things. But again, I'm just like, what the hell is he? What the hell is Larry? And
you sure it's not about
I think his story. No. Anyway, but the story does hit here. How he got shot by an officer.
I thought that was deep. That was deep.
But again, I'm really liking the Death Galleon. I'm sort of like just bouncing subjects now.
Hang on,
Death Galleon. I'm just gonna.
No, can I just go back before the Death Galleon thing, right? I love the Larry story though. Regardless, I love the Larry story. And I'm sorry that when we're talking about
when you watch the previews, it gets better in episode 6.
Not just that. But now this is where I'm gonna. When Larry passes his power onto Duo Eagle, he then becomes, spoiler alert, Duo.
I was going to go on to that later. That was why I was trying to cover the Death Galleon bit.
Fine,
quickly.
cover the Death Galleon.
Right, so like you see, because when you see them in their little base spaceship genie lamp thing, like I do like how like right at the beginning of this episode, they do the whole mecha thing.
Mm.
And I think they've got the mecha a bit, sort of like a little better. Like they sort of address, we're doing this a bit early today. It's almost like they're trying to break the fourth wall. But like when they're flying around, and then you see like that, like that villain of the week. I don't know if he actually reappeared, but he jumps out, and he is. I'm sure that's a nod to Aberanger's crocodile phone thing.
You think?
It looks again. I could barely see him because again, you see him in like the pyramid spaceship, and then he jumps out. He's like, "See you later."
That was good.
And then that's it because you see him buried in the ground, and that's when they go to find him, and then they find fucking Larry.
So hang on, wait. So you're talking about Yatsuden Money?
That's his name. I recognise the name. Yeah. So, there's that going on. But then coming back to Death Galleon, because again, the previous episodes, they've always been in the ship. But I like how that cube thing, I think it was called Azuldo or something.
Sounds better.
He comes down and you actually see him like in lighter setting. He has no eyes.
There was something after that I love from the Emperor, the leader of the Death Galleon. There's one line he says.
Oh, go on, because I remember. Go on.
After the fight with Azold and the form of Duo Eagle that I will mention, but he says a line in saying that no continue is required, and I'm like,
yeah. I mean,
what?
So, well, he's fucking dead. I mean, again, the scene that you're talking
about. Oh yeah, sure. Spoil it for fuck's sake.
You see him in pieces everywhere. But you've already spoiled it by saying that he doesn't issue a continue. Of course he can't. He's shattered everywhere.
I never said he was fucking shattered.
Well, you said that he wasn't being issued a continue. Trust me.
I never said he wasn't. I said that
whatever. Anyway. But again, just that Azuldo character, he has no eyes and he has teeth in a cube. It's insane.
No, but not just that, but actually, doesn't he remind you of the general from, or a little bit of a nod from Cross Mega Ranger mixed with the general from...
Bear in mind, I've not seen Mega Ranger.
You know who I mean.
No, I don't. I haven't seen Mega Ranger.
What's his face?
I mean, in Power Rangers in Space, you've got Dark Spectre.
Yeah, that thing.
That big, ugly gremlin looking.
No, not the gremlin. I'm talking about the green and black hexagonal, like, Anyway.
I vaguely remember.
Anyway.
But not really.
Okay, whatever. Anyway. Or more to the nod of Gokaiger's general, that gold.
Yeah, Prince Gil. He looks
like
Prince.
Vice Gil. I'm talking about the general.
The main one.
Huh?
The main one, the father.
Okay, let me try. Sorry, not general. The commander.
The brown one.
The gold one.
I remember there was a brown one. The one that was Gokai Blue's mentor.
No.
So the other one. No, because the one that was Gokai Blue's mentor was white with the eye patch. Yeah.
The advisor.
No, I disagree with you. I still disagree with you because I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, wait. The blue one was the blue cube thing. Is like a blue version of that character from Gokaiger, but you're talking about the general of Death Galleon, aren't you?
The general of Death Galleon, I think, yes, I agree, is like Vice Gil or Akudos Gil, yes, by all means. But I'm talking about the cube thing, kind of has a similar nod to the...
yeah, I know, yeah, again, it's
the
just
gold commander.
Yeah, sort of, but I wouldn't say it's that sort of prominent, so I can see where you're coming from.
Personality-wise, but anyway.
No, not personal.
anyways.
No, personality-wise, no. I'd say that blue cube thing, Azuldo, was very feisty. Like, because you had, because again, they're all competing to amuse the general. You know why? Anyway, so other aspects, right? So let's talk about
Yeah.
Joe Red, Joe, whatever the hell he is, Joe Gorilla.
I
guess
knew
he is
you were
now.
gonna break that at one point. I knew you were gonna break it.
Well, I think people know Joe Gorilla. Duh.
No, I meant
I
as in
do.
Duo Red.
Joe Red. They might as well call him Joe Red now because he has more than one animal, so it's just gonna get really confusing. But I do like.
Right. Duo Gorilla, where to begin?
This is it. I'm not liking how, and again, it seems to be a thing for Toei now that, it's bad enough that since Samurai, Power Rangers Samurai, they think it's funny to beef up the Rangers when they're in Henshin/suits. So it's bad enough that they've done it with Ichigo for his film. They've kind of done it for this, and I am kind of like, you know what?
Lol.
If you're going to do something like that, at least get. Thanks. At least, if if they're going to do something like that, rather than just get because he's massive on top, and he's got skinny little legs. They could at least get like a bodybuilder or something to be a suit actor rather than just using the same. Anyone who's a mad Toku fan always give shouts out to suit actors, and they know all the suit actors' names and histories and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even keep up, to be fair. But people will be like, because when you have reveals of series, they're like, oh, the suit actor's so and so, he's been like, oh, he's really good. Da, 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 da. And even though I might not know the names or the the careers of each one of them, I can be like, oh, that guy's that ranger's similar to that ranger. Oh, it's the same suit actor. What a coincidence! But coming to Joe Gorilla, it's like you could at least get an original suit actor who might not, and again they use wire. This is bad use of wireworks, in my opinion. I'm like, no, just no.
See, I'm gonna agree that.
I mean, it looks good.
No. See, this is the thing.
Like, that was random when he did that, wasn't it?
It was. It's like I'm still trying.
Right, but it's still like,
The process is like you have all this energy that you've just exerted, so to say, and then you've just beefed yourself up. And I'm like, alright, let's go with that, see how it goes. And then you've got this yuck, I'm going to use your word, I'm going to take one out of your books, another yuck of a form.
That word
I don't care, shut it, I'm running with it, I don't care, shut it. Anyway, it's like he's got pillows in cushions here, pillow sponge.
At least it's perfectly formed, like he's got perfectly round muscles.
I'll listen to you, like, talking up guys' abs.
At least...
Gay!
No, because at least if you go down to the gym and see proper bodybuilders, you see their veins and their skin texture and
it's perfectly built muscles.
No, but that's it. You never get that in real life. That's insane.
But still, what are you trying to compliment yourself and like saying, oh, you don't get it in the real world, but this is how I do it in Toku Talk.
Yeah,
Anyway, but honestly,
in
short, I think the form is yuck. I think the fight between that and Isolde was shit. I'm sorry. It could have been better. It could have been much better. I think the mask was lazy in that there just goes. No,
I think that's innovative, to say the least.
It's unique. I'll say it's unique. By all means, it's definitely unique. It's not been done before. And like, lies.
I think because you got Hurricane to Shuriken to turning his.
No. Wait, turning has been done. Bringing down visors has been done. Never up.
By whom?
Gokai Silver.
I guess, yeah.
So, bringing down a visor's done, not...
No, I think, wasn't Gokai Silver also a head turning?
Nope.
Ooh.
No. Wait. Now you have me going.
Oh, great.
No.
We'll
No.
we'll
No,
check,
it's
we'll
not.
check,
Shut.
we'll check,
No.
we'll check.
No, he drops his helmet down a little, so it's more like a sunglass.
We'll check. Anyway, but I'd say my favourite line from this episode is when Joe Tiger goes, "Oh, my tail's not reacting." And I'm like, "Well, mine is." So, what else do you want to talk about?
My
Joe?
favorite line is when that leader says, and I quote,
Don't give him a continue. You're such a lame-o.
"No, I think it's an interesting thing, and like, yeah, don't fucking bother."
No, but that's the point, because he's in pieces. How can you give him a continue? And then they already did the mecha scene at the beginning.
Still, it shows a new side, per se. Darker side. Anyway.
There was a line they used right at the beginning of the episode where they were in the mecha. I forgot it, but I remember it was a really good line. Anyway.
Good job.
Daijobu, good job. Anyway. Anything else on Jioja apart from the fact that in the next episode, Larry becomes old?
We're gonna see the birth of Juo Wild.
No! What?
No, not Wild Duo King.
You're talking about the Sixth Ranger.
That's the world!
So what are you talking about?
Cube Gorilla.
Oh, you were talking about the Cube Gorilla, right? Yeah, I know that. I saw that in the preview.
Fucking. Anyway, I want to see if this looks any better as a mech thing.
To be fair, I was thinking about this during watching this episode this morning. Basically, I think in general they're just getting really lazy with designing the toys, but at least the show looks alright. So I think it's more about the toys just being... Yeah, it's not even cheap knockoffs. At the end of the day, the show's meant to sell the toys, but then really it's almost like they do a show and they're doing the toys based on the show, when really it's the other way around. It's insane.
Explain that.
Right. This is it. Anyone who knows anything about why, you know, how and why we have like the tokusatsu we do to superhero time, what you've got to remember, well, what if you don't know, and again, I think this seems to be a weird ending to this show, so we'll finish talking about Kyoryuja. I'll quickly cover this.
Kyoryuja.
Basically, I meant Jioja. Anyway, so the way, what it is, they actually design the toys first. It's all about the merchandising. So, like, you know, what's gone on record is even before Decade had aired, they had already finished designing toys for O's.
Right.
That's gone on record, right? So basically, they do the toys, then they do the show, then they write the story, then they cast the actors and film it last.
Just by you saying that, wait, hang on a minute.
So
I can already tell that. 1 second. I think already, just by you saying that, I think they've committed in the story and lost the money and finance to do the toys.
I don't know. Because, again, you look at how rubbish the toys are.
No, not
shows
rubbish.
at least
Not rubbish. Cheap.
Oh, no.
Cheap.
Well, cheap, rubbish, whatever. You know, people, you know, and this is it. It's not even exclusive to Jioja. People really slated Tokuja as well. And, you know, like, the Tokyo looks awful in toy form, but it at least looks semi-okay in the show, apart from the fact that his chest drops down, you know what I mean?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But at least here, you know, because again, I think you said you watched a review of someone with Joe King. Like, it's literally just a block, it barely moves.
Yeah.
Whereas at least you can see Joe King being articulate in the show.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't know why they, you know, I mean, obviously this is how they do it.
I mean,
they design the toys first, they
here's
design the
the
merch first, and then they do everything else afterwards. Because it's the show Because you've got to remember, it's a show selling the toys, not the other way around.
Well, here's the thing though, with toy-wise, and if we're talking about Tokuja or Tokuo versus Juro King. Tokuo, and I'm sorry to say this, but Tokuo like looks a lot more cohesive as
Are you talking about the show or the toys?
the toy. Like
right, the toy, yeah, I'll agree.
It looks
show-wise, I prefer Juro.
No. I meant toy-wise, Tokuo looks more cohesive as a Megazord.
But whatever you're basically comparing like two different shades of turd. They're both awful as toys. Even I can see that.
That's an interesting true. But in short, at the end of the day, I'm enjoying the series as a whole. I'm enjoying the characters.
Yeah, they're alright.
I'm interested as to where this series progresses. I'm still feeling it's going to go the same way as Ghost Ager, though. It just feels a little bland. Hang on a minute. I'm fearing, though, I'm having reserved input for the world.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Because the executions on that has to be good, or at least interesting to keep me going.
Okie doke. Well, I think we need to wrap up this episode.
Really? Why? I'm enjoying myself.
Well, I got shit to do.
You and your thing, but anyway. So, as always, that's been another episode of... Hang on, let me just... Anyway, so that's just been us doing another Toku Talk. Yeah. But as always, I've been Master Bushido. He's been my Toku Bro from the other side of that being Flayvaman! Oh, and just before I forget, do always like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and, we're always...
YouTube.
Yeah, duh! Anyway, and as always, it's, as always, join us next time, and as always, it's Visicam!
It's for the cam. See you next time.